We're back live in Daytona. That's Bobby Labonte, Winston Cup champion from last year, who will start 37th today with his son by his side. Bobby, a big Jimmy Buffett fan. That would make him a parrot head, not a Todd parrot head, just a parrot head. We'll keep an eye on him today. Welcome back to Fox's pre-race coverage of the Daytona 500. Dale Jarrett, along with Bobby Allison, Cale Yarborough, and Richard Petty are the only drivers to win 3 Daytona 500s. A win today would put Jarrett with Petty and Yarborough as the only men to win it 4 times. But there's a lot more to Dale Jarrett than just racing. Jeanne Zelasko joins us now with his story. Jeanne?
Well, Chris, and as drivers go, Dale Jarrett is actually a late bloomer. He didn't get his first Winston Cup ride till he was 27 years old. Boy, has he made up for some lost time. Not too bad for a former high school football star, basketball star, baseball star, and oh yeah, scratch golfer who decided to give this racing thing a go.
Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500. What a story.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it just me, or is this completely different from what you do with your normal day job?
I think that's why I like it. It gets away totally from what I do in one respect, because it is quiet. I can get away from everything. But then again, it still fuels that competitive fire that I have inside of me.
If you weren't behind the wheel of a car, you might be a professional golfer right now.
I love sports, and the offer that I had from the University of South Carolina to play golf there and to possibly walk on and play football, that was intriguing, but racing was something that was in my blood. I decided that I wanted to go to work at the racetrack at Hickory Speedway for my dad, and I knew right then and there that's what I was going to do.
I think his turning point was when he got the temporary ride with the Wood brothers back in 1990 and won his first race at Michigan. And so I think that began to open some people's eyes. I knew all along that he had the ability.
What was easier, that putt or your first Daytona victory?
The first Daytona victory, as hard as it was to come by, it was easier than that putt. What a great day. And I knew once we got into the race that we had a good chance. I just needed to get myself in a position. But I had a great race car, and that did more for my career than anything else I've ever done.
I think it verified for Dale the fact that, hey, he was going to have a great future.
2 seasons later, Dale faced another crossroads. He was offered a lucrative ride with Robert Yates' team, even though he was still under contract with Joe Gibbs Racing.
Well, I think that was kind of a shock to all of us.
It was the absolute most difficult decision I'd ever made in my life.
Even though it was such a heartbreak going through it, I think that it's been best for both.
Joe Gibbs found Bobby Labonte and found success in 2000 with a Winston Cup championship. Dale Jarrett's eventual pairing with crew chief Todd Parrott was like lightning in a bottle from their very first race.
Winning 2 Daytona 500 to be too much. Here he comes to the line, and Dale Jarrett is going to pull it off at Daytona, his second Daytona 500 win.
Todd and I talked about how we thought we could be successful, but never in our wildest dreams did we think that we could win the Daytona 500. No, we couldn't dream that big.
They have become one of the most consistent teams in racing, finishing no lower than 4th in the past 5 years. They've added another Daytona 500 victory, and oh yeah, the Winston Cup championship. But it all came at a price, which explains the new addition to the Jarrett family.
Yeah, it's very costly, it's expensive, but it's done almost out of necessity to do all the appearances, all the sponsor requests, and still be able to see my family. You know, my family gives up enough of their time for me to be able to do this, and these are just small things that we can do to make that time together.
Well, as for his other family, the 88 crew, they faced a real test last season. Dale actually won here, of course, at Daytona, and then he didn't find his way back to victory lane for 30 more races. Now, that would have shaken up a lot of other families, but Dale said not this one. They're very close because of one reason. That 99 Winston Cup championship, it gives them nonstop confidence. And besides, Chris, if this whole racing thing doesn't work out for Dale, you know, he's only, what, 6 birthdays away from the senior tour.
All right, thanks, Jeanne. And signing an autograph, Dale Jarrett starting 31st 31st in today's race. That's the furthest back for a defending champ since '94 when he started 41st. Nearly 250,000 people were 30 minutes away from the race. Looks like Mardi Gras on wheels out here. More from Daytona on Fox in a moment.